Hey there, everyone. This is Ray Villalobos, and this is actually going to be episode 0 of this new thing I'm calling the Toolbox. And essentially what I want to do is give you some of the tools that I've learned about in the past week, and maybe do a little bit of a deeper dive than I usually do, because most of these you'll be able to find just if you follow me on LinkedIn or on Twitter. But I wanted to kind of show you the tools a little bit better and some of my other thoughts, the things that I've been working on during the week. So hopefully you enjoy this. I worked really hard on my lights, and hopefully I fixed my audio sync issue that I had last week. So just let me know in the comments. I rewired everything. So hopefully everything's a little bit better than last time when I did just what really was a test. So hopefully this was working out a lot better. So I wanted to show you a few things that I've been looking at on the web. And the number one thing is this article. So it's this article called NPM Audit Broken by Design by Dan Abramov. Really smart dude. Essentially, a lot of us, and I just had somebody actually write a Q&A question about this in one of the courses that I did. A lot of times when you do an NPM install on a project, or perhaps one of the courses that you've watched, you get all these like notifications about, this thing's out of date. This is a critical update. This is, sometimes you'll see that they ask you for money. Like some of these projects want money, and a lot of times, especially as a new developer, you sort of get confused about what that stuff is and whether you should worry about it. So this guy, Dan Abramov, wrote this really cool article that kind of goes through and does a deep dive on the tool that manages that. It's part of NPM, the Node package manager that comes when you install Node.js. And it looks like I'm getting some hellos already. So hello, everyone. Essentially, he did a deep dive and took a look at some of his projects and did the research as going back through all the dependencies that he was getting warnings about, and saw that almost like 90-something% of the dependencies or the NPM audit alerts that he got weren't really relevant to the project. So if you take a look at this article, and I'll definitely put a link, of course, to it on the posts, you can see that he has like a little bit of a sort of, he's showing you kind of what happens in one of his applications and the dependencies. And then he goes into the reason why when you do that, you get this kind of messages talking about vulnerabilities. And a lot of times you'll get these like high vulnerabilities or urgent vulnerabilities, and why every one of those particular vulnerabilities weren't actually an issue at all with the project. And so if you don't know that, though, it really kind of freaks you out. A lot of times you'll just do like an npm install, or you use like a create React, which is where this gentleman works. You create a new React app, and you already, before you've done anything, you'll already get an alert about vulnerabilities and dependencies. So he goes through all of them, and a lot of them, the reason a lot of them don't have anything to do with this project is because, like in my website, so I use 11t as well as some other stuff for my personal site called raybo.org. So my site is a static site, and those static sites don't really use any dependencies when they're published. So because they're static sites, you essentially create everything in 11t. 11t processes everything, and then it spits out a bunch of HTML, maybe some CSS and JavaScript. And so it creates an entire website full of web pages that have been processed by all these tools that are being used by 11t. So they're part of your, packages, and there's a bunch of node modules maybe installed on your machine. But because the output of the project doesn't require any of those node modules, it's not really an issue unless somebody breaks into your machine and they have access. But honestly, if somebody breaks into your machine, you probably have bigger fish to fry and don't need to worry about that. So a lot of the projects, you don't need to really worry about that for. So he goes through each of the different kind of dependency problems that he found. And he found that the first 3 were not even an issue. And on this one, denial of service, this is really actually, I think, some of his best writing. It says that essentially, if the attacker takes control of his actual machine that he programs with, then they could put in a special SVG file that has a CSS selector in it, which was going to make his builds slow. So that has absolutely no impact on the actual publish React app. It would only have an impact if somebody had physical access to the machine that you're developing in, and then you probably, if somebody stole your machine, you got bigger things to worry about than a specific dependency causing a potential slowdown, not even like a real thing. So I think that his point is that they should really try to fix some of these things, and he spent actually hours deep diving into this thing. And his conclusions are, he's not really sure how to fix them, but he does have some really good suggestions about what to do. So the number one was move as many dependencies to dev dependencies. So when you are working on a web project, you know that a lot of times you've got two kinds of dependencies and dev dependencies. Dependencies are things that ship with your application onto the web. So those are packages that will be published with your website. And when somebody pulls up a copy of your website, they're actually going to be running these packages, right? So those are important for these type of problems. However, dev dependencies are dependencies that are only part of your development sort of batch. So while you're programming, it's little utilities that run and do certain things. For example, I have a utility that will process Sass into CSS. Well, that utility doesn't need to go onto the server. It's just running while I do my work on my local website. So one of the things that he mentions you can do is just move as many things as you can into dev dependencies so that they're not dependencies that your project actually needs when it's running on the web. And therefore, it's nothing that anybody's going to hit. Another good suggestion is that just inline all dependencies during publish. That means that instead, if you do require some packages or if you do require some code, make sure that all those things are actually inline in your code, so they are not requiring an external library that could have potential issues. So perhaps something like, instead of maybe pointing to a version of, I don't know, Bootstrap or some sort of library that could potentially have some issues, then you actually process all that and bundle it all together. That way, what you end up having, with your website is some code that has been processed and all inlined. It's all one package, so that it's not going to really affect the original package that how all the other dependencies. A lot of these problems happen not with the tools that you're using, but with some module that tool uses during processing or development. So by doing this, you help out the possibility of some of these problems as well. And then his other sort of suggestion here is offer a way to counterclaim vulnerability reports in the same way that he went through and he found out this is really not a vulnerability. This is important. This isn't important. I think the problem is, and what he's saying is, it's not that vulnerabilities aren't an issue. It's just that if we tell people that everything's an issue, then it just overwhelms people and then nothing becomes an issue. So be mindful of that, because people are probably ignoring a lot of those actually potentially horrible issues that are problems, and just being overwhelmed by all these notices. And as they're trying to fix it, it just becomes really hard to actually get anything done. I know that every time I go post a blog post on my website, that I feel like I have to take a look at those alerts and see, is this going to be part of my process build of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript? Honestly, most of the time, no. Now I'm getting some notices about Sass having made some changes. It's a deprecation warnings. Should I worry about that? I'll get to that later. It's not going to be an issue when all my CSS is processed anyways. So you just have to learn with time to kind of figure out which things are important and which things aren't. So that is a fantastic article. Like I said, I'll put a link on it. on either like on the sort of comments section of the site. So you should definitely take a look at that, especially if you want to know specifically why certain things aren't a problem. I think he does a really good job of explaining. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that just for a couple of days, today is AppSumo Day. I'm a really big fan of AppSumo. So this is a place that lets you purchase lifetime deals for a lot of applications. So you pay like a one-time fee of like $50, $100, whatever it is. And then you don't have to pay a monthly fee. A lot of these applications are just getting started. So you may end up with something that is not 100% of what it's going to be. Definitely, a lot of them will have updates all the time, and they're really good. Actually, during this phase, they're trying to sort of validate their product as well as sort of communicate with real users. Also, it gives them a kind of good amount of user base while they're finishing up their product before they launch it to the real world. So I found a lot of really cool things in there. So I found things like Publr and Switchy I really love, and other tools that I use all the time. So I have some tools that will let me, create captions for videos. So they have a special going on right now. Essentially, you just put the code SUMODAY for 10%. It's only going on for the next couple of days, but the site is awesome anyways, and all the tools are great. So even when you don't have 10% of some of these deals, the stuff is pretty cool. They have some kind of interesting deals. OneStream Live, it's a good idea. I've actually purchased it a while back. They actually had it on the site. So in the Spotlight, they actually brought it back for this AppSumo Day. Essentially what it does is it allows you to schedule restreams of your streamed content or your videos at a later date. So I've often thought, not everybody on like this live stream, not everybody can be here in this live stream. So maybe if I could like restream it at a different time and then maybe monitor the comments, I think that would be maybe a good experience for somebody who wants to watch things, and maybe I can still answer questions. I don't know. But also a lot of people like to, sort of pre-record things, make sure that they're perfect, and then they can stream them, and then they can schedule it to stream not more than once, which is, kind of good. I think you should let people know that you're restreaming so that they don't think that the live questions that they're asked is something that the person is going to be viewing. So that's a pretty cool product. Let's see, some of the other ones that I saw. It's GetTerms, sort of interesting. So this provides you like privacy policies for your website. Nowadays, there, used to be like in the old days that you could just create any website and not worry about putting cookies and gathering data from your users. Now you need to have privacy policies on your site and other things. So this is sort of a quick way of building some, privacy policies that work for most websites. I think that's an interesting idea. I actually bought something called Ayubanda, again from AppSumo before, which is what I use on Rabo. And there's a lot of other interesting deals here. There's one that's a little bit, so that's GetTerms. Let's see. OneStream Live, I'll put the links like I mentioned. And there's one that I just bought, and this actually happened before AppSumo launched this AppSumo Day. So it's a little bit harder to find on the website, but it's this deal for Sticker Mule holographic stickers. They have an example here. I don't know if it does it justice. And I ordered some, and I haven't gotten them, so I can't really show you. Maybe if I do get them by next week, I can show you what they look like. So you get, I think, 50 stickers for $9. I've ordered stickers from them before, really good sticker place. So if you look at my laptop, I have like a Planet of the Web sort of sticker. So let's see if I can give you like a live cam here. No, I don't think. Nope. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. So you can see that I have like a Planet of the Web sticker on my laptop, which I ordered from them. Really high quality sort of stickers, and holographic, looks really cool. $9 for 50 stickers is a great deal. Also, like if you want to order more, and I actually ended up ordering, I hope they're good because I ordered like 300 of the stickers. I'm not even sure why. I guess if you see me somewhere, you can ask me, and if I have a sticker, I'll let you have one. So anyways, I thought that was a really good deal, and they'll bring in all kinds of specials like that. They'll have a special on die cuts or magnets. I actually ordered some magnets, this logo right here. I don't even know why I need magnets, but anyways. So let's see. Other than that, I also saw this really cool project on GitHub called Wikipedia QL. So this is a query language for data from Wikipedia. Wikipedia has a lot of really rich data. They have information like movies, about movies, music, all kinds of information that you can use on certain projects. And this person created sort of a query language to ask for the data. And I thought it was a really interesting project. So you can check out things like, I guess, the returns data in the JSON format, and then you can use that to parse out some pages. And interestingly, there's a section over here where he talks about why he didn't use some existing solutions. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. Also, I wanted to show you a couple of things that changed about Git. Let's see if we can do something super meta here, and I can show you. Let's see, that's not, actually, that is the course that I'm working on. Let's see, so this is actually the blog post from my website. You can see that it's running right here. And let's see, we'll go ahead and open up this new shell script here. And you'll see that in the old days, you would do things like get checkout period, right? And when you switch to a new branch, you can, again, do just checkout and then go to a new branch, whatever the branch name was here. But there's a couple of commands that they have. Oh, I can read it right from here. There's a couple of commands that they have modified. So get checkout used to do a lot more. And so they have demoted get checkout to only do certain things, actually literally just check out things, right? Which is what you think it will do. But they have it had to do restoring of files as well as switching branches. So they have now added a couple of commands. Get checkout isn't gone. You can still use it. They potentially could deprecate it in the future, but I don't know that they would. It'll really sort of confuse a lot of people. But they came up with these other two languages, get restore and get switch, that will take care of things for you. So you can use, like, this is sort of odd, but it makes more sense, I think, than get checkout. So you do to create a new branch, you do get switch -C for create, and then the branch name. I don't know, maybe they should do like a git create also. And then you do like get switch, and then the other one should be like get restore. Okay. So get switch, another branch, get restore, and you could do like a get restore period here, and that would restore the current directory, right, for you. So that is, I thought, something pretty important to share. And let's see. The last thing that I wanted to talk about before, somebody's saying that they want me to say their name. Okay, once. I hopefully I'll do it justice. Is that Shakir Farouk? Very cool. So the last thing I wanted to maybe try out and do with you is this really I'm not a huge fan of quizzes. It reminds me of some really bad times in high school with teachers giving you like pop quizzes and stuff. So, but I found this quiz that was pretty awesome, and it's called JS is Weird. So you can go to jsisweird.com and take a look at it and go through it. I'm actually going to try to go through it. I'm not very good at in this quiz. So before you take it, some of this quiz is actually designed to have weirdness, JavaScript weirdness, things that are quirky, and it's testing you on them. But the best part of the quiz is actually at the end. So I'm just gonna, a true plus. So like I'm just gonna embarrass myself here. And if you have any comments, like if you have any help that you want to give me, you can maybe take it along with me. So true plus false. This one's tricky because it doesn't, I think almost should be like a syntax error, I feel. Because no, true and false are actually objects. So, but when you add them up, if you put quotes on things, it'll try to concatenate them. I don't know if it would try to concatenate them in this case, or just put an error because maybe you can add them. See, I'm not that good at this one, so I'm gonna say why not a number? Oh, this is length of these many elements. So there's actually 4 elements here, I think. So we'll give it a shot. Okay. Oh man, this is getting tougher. 1, 2, 3 plus. So apparently 2 arrays being added together. What happens when you add arrays? I mean, you think it would be this, but maybe it would end up doing this or give you this. Oh, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna just guess. And this is actually the fun part about the test is, at some point I just clicked around to see what would happen at the end, and I think that's the best part. So let's see. Oh my gosh, this is getting harder. Okay, triple equal means making sure that the 2 sides absolutely match. So the type of the elements has to perfectly match. I'm gonna say maybe syntax error because you're trying to add, or will it just do 0.3? But what it's actually doing, it's comparing. It's a comparison operator, so it would compare the 2 types. I feel like they look like they're the right type, but you know what? Also, I believe that this is kind of like a trick question. So I'm going to go for syntax error on this one. 10,2. I think the new version, some of the new things will actually make it return 10.2. I'm going to go for this. Not. Oh my gosh, I have no idea on this one. So this is funny. Maybe you should take this with a lot of your friends or something. So not string. Yeah, I have no idea. Plus not array. Why are they even asking this? So let's see. Adding 2 nots, which it's got to be like an error, right? Array doesn't have anything. So nothing plus. I'm gonna go for 0. Actually, I think it's more fun if you try to give it the craziest answer. So not true. I want to say it's false, right? Because why not? Let's check it out. True. Okay, this one's definitely not. Well, hold on. If it equals true, then it might. So the thing about this is that it will maybe convert one type of element. So these are clearly 2 different types. This is a string, and this is the true, the true identifier, the object or whatever. So these are definitely not the same, but sometimes the compiler will convert them for you. So I'm going to say that it's true. Okay, it's like maybe a trick. Binary number minus 03. Whew, I'm going to have to say not a number because you would think. Yeah, I'm going to say not a number. This is got to be a syntax error because you can't put quotes inside other quotes, right? You only have to escape them. So I'm going to go for syntax error. Yeah, so I think you guys should be trying to guess what kind of score I'm getting. I don't see a lot of comments yet. So yeah, for some reason I can't see the actual, let's see if I can pull the LinkedIn. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so I can see the LinkedIn questions. Yeah, so oh man, I should mute this. Trying to guess what kind of score I'm getting. All right, looks like Morton's online, so he might be giving me some tips coming up here. All right, so null plus 0. Null plus 0. Oh my gosh. It would just be funny if it actually told you null 0. Let's go for it. Infinity. Yeah, I think this is how you. This is a perfect definition of infinity. And right now I'm going faster because this is just ridiculous questions. It's not really meant to be useful. So let's see. 1 divided. I mean, this thing is making me laugh. 1 divided by 0 greater than math power. Oh my gosh. True. Why not? It's not even an operator that is checking for equalities, but I'm pretty sure that one's wrong. True plus plus. Oh, of course, that's 2. Quote minus 1. I don't even know. I can't even. Oh, I'm gonna say I'm just gonna put in whatever I think is the dumbest answer, and I probably get maybe a high score. All right, let's see. Null minus 0 plus 0. All right. What the heck would null minus 0 be? I'm going to say that, you know what would be really good if it was double 0. All right, true plus true minus 0. True minus 0 doesn't even make any sense. But, so this maybe would just be true, but then when you add true to it, I want to say 1, just because that's really dumb sounding. Not equals 5. This thing is hilarious. You know, I think I'm going to say 0. Why not? 2 arrays added together should be this, I think. I don't know. Not a number. This would be really interesting to find out why the heck this would not be true, right? So this technically, I think, should be true. Like they're the two same, literally the same types, although this is the JavaScript is weird. I'm going to say the weirdest thing that could happen here is a type error. So not a number plus plus. Oh my gosh. Undefined. Yeah, no, hold on. What type error? I'm going to say undefined. Undefined. You know, I think it would be silliest if the result of this was undefined false, but that's like too silly. They went too far on that answer. I want to say it's a syntax error. Morton wants to be on the next one, so we can try to solve this together. I don't know, man. I don't think these are solvable. I think these are just like something you have to, like, I think if you go on and then I can be like on the terminal in the background, maybe we can sound like geniuses. Let's see. Yeah, here's a more insane. Next time I should invite. Yeah, yeah. Then I think unless we cheat, I think we will both look like fools. But it's like the thing about this test is that it's just a little bit fun. All right, undefined. Let's think about this now. Undefined plus false. So if it's not defined, then it doesn't have anything plus false. So I want to say it should be just false, but I'm going to say 0. Plus 0 equals minus. That's definitely true. Definitely true. All right, let's see. Plus. Okay, hold on. So it's, there's like a minus sign over here. Minus nothing plus nothing plus 1. Okay. Yeah, I give up. I love that one. Look like a 5. I'm probably, this is like, I'm now this is an extremely high score, I believe, because none of the things made a lot of sense. But I think that what's really cool is, let's see. Okay, I want to know what I actually got right. So I think that's the actual interesting thing. So I think I probably guessed. Okay, so the cool thing is, I think, the explanations. Okay, you can add 2 exclamation marks before any value to get its Boolean representation. Oh, okay, so yeah, it sort of like casts it to a Boolean. And usually anything with a value is true and anything with an empty value is false. So somehow, by pure chance, I got it right. I wonder if anybody gets a better score than me, and if it's just because they were guessing. Like, I wonder if we, put a room full of monkeys on this quiz, I think every one of them will probably do better than I did. Anyways, yeah, maybe a room full of JavaScript students should all do these quiz, and it would just be the most hilarious thing. Yeah, so this is cool. Like I said, it's a lot of fun. Let's see. Yeah, very cool. Anyways, if you got a chance, take the quiz, and especially maybe with a friend. I think it'll be more fun. And, I think the thing that I like about this quiz is that it's not realistic for you to actually know what the heck any of this stuff does. There's no way you would use any of that code in anything. So it's just a lot of fun. I had a lot of laughs, and that's like the second time I've taken it. I think the first time I answered like the first, 5 questions, and then I just like, the heck with this. And then I wanted to see what happened like after when you got it. So I just went straight to the answers, and that was, it's more fun actually taking it, especially like, I don't know if I'm nervous or, in front of people, you might be like a little bit nervous, but I thought it would be fun. So let's see if we have any questions before we sort of log off. We spend like 30 minutes. So I'm planning on doing this occasionally. I have some vacation coming up, and I'm working on a new course, not surprisingly, on Git. So I'm working on some Git and GitHub. I'm doing a course on Bootstrap, like just the new features and also migrating. And then I have a lot of other stuff. I've been working on my website a lot, rabo.org, even to create a section for this weekly thing or whenever I do it, so that there's a place for these things to live after, we broadcast them. So let's see. I have some comments here from people. Let's see. Hi from Peru. Hello. Buenas tardes. I don't even know what time it is over there. Let's see. I think in Panama it's like 2 hours later. I'm not sure what time zone it is. So you should be around the same time frame. So afternoon then. Buenas tardes. All right. Hey, hello, Shakir. Sorry. Let's see. I'm glad Morton joined in. I can barely say his name though. I love it. This is obscenely difficult. Yeah. If it's not supposed to be a real test. It's a lot more fun when over 0. I wonder. I don't know what score Morton would have gotten, but it doesn't really matter. So don't worry. Yeah, I think Morton and I are doing different live streams. So at some point, we'll kind of join together in something hopefully silly and fun. Morton's really getting into this quiz, so that's cool. Morton, that could be... Okay, I think... Because discuss ourselves into actual... Let's see, do I have anything else? Morton, and see who has the reason. Oh, yeah, like I didn't know any of these reasons, and they're so bizarre. Yes, have you ever seen I should put a link to the WAT video because it's really funny. I'll put a link in the comments about the WAT video. It had me like laughing in tears about just the weirdness of JavaScript like this, and the guy was just really funny. The delivery was funny. Let's see. Cool. Morton wants to be even more crazy and suggest a quiz we should do together. I think only if we did it for fun, because I hate quizzes. The only reason I love this one is because it was so dumb. And also, why do things not even make sense sometimes? But yeah, maybe like only if it was like super fun, or maybe I would hate to get like stomped by all the users, because I'm just like honestly, I'm just like you guys. I'm not any smarter than anyone. I feel like I just kind of, actually the fact that I'm not as smart helps me break things down and make things simple. It's one of the things that I feel like whenever I'm teaching, that I'm really trying to understand something, because most of the time I'm teaching things that I don't know, or something that is new. So it's like for Bootstrap 4 to 5, or say I'm doing a course in React. Sometimes I do a course and I haven't touched that thing. Like I do courses on, like, I've done stuff on like Angular, React, Svelte, Vue, and sometimes you come back to it and you're like, what? Which one am I using now? What was the thing? And it makes me really think about, what I'm doing, and, how when I'm writing, I'm also doing that, like really trying to make sure that when I say something, that it's super accurate. So far, so good. But yeah, that's what's fun about doing the course. Let's see. Thank you. Very interesting. Okay, yeah. So other than that, I'm going to post this on my blog, so you can check this same thing out. I'd love to get more questions or comments about anything on the comments, but you could do it later. I know a lot of people watch this later. In the future, I'm actually going to create like a appointment so that you can have like a calendar reminder of when this happens. I didn't really want to do this because, again, I'm going on vacation, and I didn't even know if everything was gonna be working. You can hopefully really tell the difference between this one and the last one that I did. I really messed around with the lights. Actually, you know what? I'm going to show you my ridiculous setup. So if you can take a look, I have like this ATEM Extreme Mini Pro ISO, which lets you switch between cameras. See, hey, and I have two GoPros. This one's like on a little arm right here, so I can move it. What's cool is I thought this would be good for if I wanted to show you, when I'm showing a website, it kind of gives you like a cool kind of angle of this. I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. And I just happen to have these two cameras, so I figured that might be pretty cool. I have a bunch of Diet Cokes. And now behind me, let's see what else I have here. I have a Stream Deck, which I don't use because I haven't figured it out yet. And then behind me, I did did half of the room with those like audio things, which is kind of weird. And then the other half isn't done because I bought a ton of them and I thought, oh, I have plenty of them. And then I kind of ran out. And then I have 3 of those Elgato lights. I have one back there with this like pink, it's supposed to be, I think, like a purple gel. And then I just have stuff in the background with a hanging light, this bulb that sits over here with like a blue light. I have like a ton of lights. And then this other Elgato thing with like a red gel. There's my Domo flash that I got it wasn't a Comic-Con, it's the Orlando Comic-Con version. And then there's like another light behind there. Like I said, a hanging light. Yeah, so I have a lot of and then my key light is behind here. You can see that I have a little teleprompter thingy if I want to read something, but I haven't used it for this yet. And then I have 2 big screens. This is kind of cool. Like I actually set up this screen to be like 1080p, so that I share the entire screen and everything's nice and big. And then these camera things, the little camera angle. And I discovered that the little lights kind of show up here, which I think is sort of a cool effect. So that was probably more than you were interested in seeing. Yeah, I have 2 cameras. So I didn't show you that. So I have like that camera. It's kind of an EOS R, and then I have this other camera. And then I have a TV so I can watch videos while I'm doing stuff. So there's that. All right, so let's see. Unless I have any other questions. Yeah, looks like I don't. I'll talk to you again soon. Take care.